we understand you're a comedian. Give us your best one.
Well, starting off years ago, I was on Whose Line Is It Anyway, and I would improvise some comedy. We're in the music business tonight. I don't know exactly what I can say. I would say if you just want to Google the best of Chip Eston, you'll see some crazy YouTube things that off that Whose Line Is It Anyway from a couple years ago, from a little kid that looks a lot like me.
What do you enjoy more?
Well, the good news is I don't have to answer that because I get to do this show and I get to do the acting and so many of the songs we do, we get to be funny in them. I mean, it's not quite as silly as Whose Line, but there's an awful lot of comedy. You always have to put a little drama in your comedy and a little comedy in your drama.
Such a heavy role.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to smile sometimes.
All right. Sure, go ahead.
I get a question for you.
Sure.
We were on the set today, and we saw in the guitar room still one of the guitars.
Well, borrowed. You left a note that said, I've got it in the trailer.
Wait, you were at our place today?
Yeah, we were on set, yeah.
Yeah, I borrow a whole lot of Deacon's stuff. I borrow his guitars, borrow some of his clothes. He's got good taste in both. Yeah. Well, I don't usually get to keep them. I don't know. We're still running, so I've actually worn some of mine on the show, and I've worn some of his at home. So I believe this is all mine, if I'm not incorrect. But
We approve.
it's all right. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
we approve.
But he's very kind. He lets me use it all, and I thank him for that.
My other question would be keeping the marriage together. I mean, now you have women falling at your feet. You know, how does the wife handle that? How do you handle that?
Well, I know what that's all about. It's about getting to play this character that you feel for, you care about. He's written so fantastically by Callie Curry and everybody else there. I've been doing this acting thing a long time, and I'm very appreciative of everybody that's a fan, but believe me, I've been walking around this planet for a good long time, and I was nobody's heartthrob for a long time except my wife's. So she was there first, and she'll be there last, and we just celebrated our 24th anniversary. So that's the real deal. I know the deal.
I just want to know first your experience with babies, because I think everybody's fallen in love with your character after such a rough start. You know, we weren't sure we liked you so much.
Yeah, Avery kind of came on as a troubled guy, and they worked really hard to turn his character around, which I was happy about. In terms of, working with babies and stuff, I have 3 kids of my own, so I'm kind of used to it. And the babies that they got are just absolutely adorable. They're so precious. So it's kind of fun.
No, I've been told that.
Yeah. All right. Now, kind of hard to go back to bad guy once you have a kid, right?
I hope so.
Which is more fun for you?
Definitely, who Avery has become now is more fun for me. I think it's interesting to watch a character kind of fall on his face a little bit and learn some humility, and there's so much drama that goes on in the show that it's nice to have characters once in a while that kind of have their feet on the ground
And turn out well.
Yeah.
Turn out well. Got it. Another question. Songwriting.
Yeah.
Tell me how you got going with that, and any advice you might have for someone else too.
Well, I started writing songs when I was about 11 years old. My dad's a songwriter, and it's just always been a part of my life. And really, it's been the most therapeutic thing for me growing up. Is whatever I was going through, I could channel that through songwriting. So, I would certainly encourage that for people, just on a personal level, of saying that learn an instrument, learn how to write songs, even if it's just for yourself and not to try to get out there in the world, because it's really a meaningful thing to get to express yourself like that.
And once you've written a song, say you want it to be a bestseller, where's the first step for where to send it? What did any tips on that?
That's a tough question. There's a lot of different ways that people get to it. Some people end up connecting with a publisher and really working that route. Other people take their songs as an artist and try to make it as an artist and keep their publishing. So I think there really isn't one way to do it. I think it's a matter of just working really, really hard and always having perseverance. And
how does one get going? Did you get the part first and then start contributing songs, or?
Well, yeah. I trained as an actor in London, but I always played music, always wrote music. So the job came first. So they cast me while I was living in London, having never been to America, which was quite a culture shock. But to then move to this city where the lifeblood is songwriting songwriting and music was like an absolute jackpot for me. So now we get to collaborate with some of the most talented songwriters in the world, and tonight we'll be doing a bit of that.
And if you could change parts with anyone else, what other part would you want?
On the show?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's cool. Raina James, no.
That's a good one, though.
I think I quite like to do like a Jeff Fordham, play the real nasty manager for a change.
I think
that
they
would be
need another bad guy.
I mean, apparently, yeah, they definitely do. Poor old Jeff, no spoilers there, but yeah, Gunnar always tries to play the nice guy, but it'd be nice to be a meanie for a minute.
We like Gunnar Nice, by the way.
I mean, I'm the only one of these guys that doesn't write songs. So that's, it's cool. I mean, this town is amazing. I mean, and I like that our show's at its best when it does the songwriter thing and the superstar thing, and it's fun when those two worlds kind of collide.
Yeah.
And this is a songwriter's town, and what we're celebrating tonight, obviously, is these fictitious characters that these real great writers wrote for that move people. It's really bizarre, little meta weird thing, but it's really, really cool. And then Chip, of course, did pretty much all of it. He wrote, beginning of last season, that song that he sang live at the beginning of the premiere.
Right.
Was a song he wrote about it. So it's like worlds colliding and pretty cool.
All right, tell us about the tattoo.
Which one?
Look, this says Raina.
Well, that's fake. That's not. That's not.
That's awesome.
But that's fake.
Because
Because remember when Raina? Remember I got the tattoo for Raina? I mean, see, watch. I'll scrape a little of the R off there for her. Now it says Darna. No. See? Okay. The rest of this is real. The rest of this is real.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.